Hello everyone, and as usual, thank you for joining me to another sketching slash sort of a painting session. This week I am back using the Magnani 1404 portfolio watercolor block. I do like it. The only thing that I guess I dislike us a little bit is that for whatever reasons this paper keeps on warping, especially when you use water heavily on it, and I don't know how to get them flat. At the same time, I don't really have them in a binder either because of the ad format. I've been looking to see if this paper comes in different sizes, and the other format that I found was a square format, which maybe might work a little bit better, but I guess first I need to finish this block before I deserve another one. Or maybe I'll be trying different brands as well, just to see how things are progressing. Today as I said last week, I'm gonna be using the nib and the holder that I used last week when I did my sketching on top of ink wash. This time I'm going on my normal route, just first doing a sketch and then trying to bring color into it and hopefully bring more life to it. Now, I did not have a plan for this week. I still gonna go on the basically portrait format of this pad, and I'll probably for the rest of the pages I'll keep the same format. I'm not gonna go actually landscape mode, at least not with this block pad. As mentioned, I didn't really had any plans for today. Kind of started at the bottom just to give myself space as I go up and then not to end up in a weird situation where things might not fit, and eventually actually turned out to be quite interesting. I went kind of halfway on the page, just because I wasn't sure exactly what to do with the top, and then I came back to the bottom and starting building those details a little bit, again without an actual plan. I assumed that would have been just the ground, maybe like a grassy ground or something like that. And I spent a little bit of time in there because I wasn't sure what to do with the top, and once I kind of had a feeling of what I wanted to do, I moved towards the top. I have to admit, the nib that I'm using, this, by the way, I finally found out what it was actually called, in case you didn't know already. It's not Zebra comic nib, it's actually Zebra Maru nib, which I believe in Japanese, Maru means O or whole or something like that. Which kind of makes sense, because if you look at the nib, at its not profile, but if you kind of look, I guess from inside it is more of a tube-like thing, and it does look like an O, which I would understand the name if Maru truly means what I think it means, or whatever Google told me actually means. I do like the nib a lot. I'm not a big fan of the holder that I'm using, not because it doesn't work, it's okay. It's just that the ferrule that it's using, the plastic ferrule that it's using, that allows me to put the nib in there, is not the best. The nib actually kind of slowly slips out of it. I put it on the water when I wanted to wash it, and the weight of the water from the tap literally removed the nib from the holder. And this got me thinking if I could actually find these plastic ferrules to use them in one of my, and build basically my own holder. But I was not able to find these plastic ferrules. If by any chance any one of you knows, drop a link or let me know where I could find them, because I wouldn't mind to to get a couple of them and then try and do my own holder whenever I'm able to. Which make me think maybe I should buy a better holder, I guess. So I'll probably try and look at different holders, see which ones have this kind of plastic ferrule. I kind of like them, to be honest with you. And then, I don't know, I'll get one eventually. Probably something, again, to do for a future video. Going back to my drawing, as I mentioned, as I was working on it, I focused a lot on the bottom part, and then once I had an idea what I wanted to do with the top, I went back to it. And again, it was just a very vague idea. You probably saw me just drawing some lines, trying to kind of balance it. I'm not sure I did a very good job at it, but I guess, again, something to improve. So the idea was a scarecrow, a sort of a scarecrow, and this one definitely turned out to be very odd. I'm not sure if I would be a bird, if I would be actually scared of it, but it's definitely a little bit different than any other scarecrow I have ever encountered. Plus, this guy turned out to have kind of a smiley face on it, so how scary it is, I don't know. I'll let you decide that. I was a little bit lost in details. I really love the fine lines that I'm getting from this nib, and I'll probably use it a little bit more often in the future. I might go back to the Nico G nib next week just to see the huge difference between them. And who knows, maybe in the future I might start using a combination of different nib sizes like Nico G and then this Maru nib in order to get the more fine details. I could easily see myself using both of them in combination, one to maybe the Nico G, or maybe I should try again the Zebra G. To get the bigger details, the bigger blocks in place, and then when I'm trying to get even more finer details, then switch to the Maru nib. So the whole point of this, basically, as I was going through the drawing, building my idea in the head, was to be a scarecrow with a cloth on it that is kind of in the wind. And I don't know what the hell happened with the arms. It almost feels like this scarecrow decided to put its foot and its arm through the same sleeve. It's odd, but I kind of liked it at the same time just because it adds a very weird what in the world is going on there to it. I think I could have probably balanced that a little bit better, and that cloth feels like it just is not really sitting on something or wrapping something, so I could have probably done a better job at it. And unfortunately, when I came up with the color, I didn't stay within the lines. I kind of spilled over, and that might have made the trouble of where those lines starts a little bit harder to see. What I do like looking now after I'm done with the drawing and having the piece of paper in front of me, I do like that background, the way the green kind of blends or spills or bleeds, I guess probably it's better, into the background. And that background I started with the orange ink that I have, which kind of has some pinkish hints to it. And then I actually added a little bit of pink into it, and I liked it how it lit it up. It almost feels like there's some fire going on in the background. And then is this creepy little guy still smiling in the front like he doesn't even care. So it has a nice twist to it, I guess. I decided to use green for the grassy quote-unquote part that was going up on the stick that this scarecrow sits on, and then I decided to use purple in different shades or different intensities on the stick and the cloth. It felt like it needed a little bit of a break out of that purple, and I decided to try that blue, the light blue that I have, and damn, it turned out actually really interesting. I like the combination of the blue and the purple, especially that light blue. It feels like it makes it pop, and they complement each other very well, at least in my opinion. So I might actually explore this color combination in the future, because I kind of fell in love with them and how they look. It almost feels like all these colors, they just work together without me doing much to them. They just complement each other in a weird way. Again, I'm not a color guy, so when it comes to color theory, I'm definitely not your person. And as a matter of fact, I've been trying and break it to make it look weird and odd, and to see where the limits are. And so far, no matter what I'm doing to them, to my eyes at least, they still look pretty good. In the end, pretty fun drawing. I actually like the results. My sketch could have been done better. I love the nib. The fine details that I get out of it are definitely amazing. I might not use it by itself. It takes a very long time to actually complete the drawing, especially if you dive into details, because you keep on building on top of it, and it feels like you can go on forever. So I might use something, a combination in the future. But so far, loving it. Anyway, I guess this is it for this week. Nothing really special. Pretty much the same, just different lines and different shapes, but still loving it. Let's see what else I'm gonna get next week. Until then, thank you for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you again next week, and as usual, I wish you nothing but the best and a wonderful day or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.